Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Five Flags Speedway. I'm Aaron Johnson with the Johnson iRacing Network, bringing you a special race today. This is the final race in the U.S. Racing League's Legends Challenge. This is the second season U.S. Racing has run the Legends Challenge, and we're here to broadcast this final race. This race is going to feature 9 outstanding drivers running for a championship here. Right now, Mike Matherly is going to be leading the points. Matherly, a member of the Johnson iRacing team. Several drivers trying to catch him. Matherly's going to need at least a 6th place finish to clinch this championship tonight. And fortunately, Mike's going to start on the pole. Let's have a look at the starting grid, then we'll talk a little bit about the U.S. Racing League. Starting in the 9th spot in car 999, that's Shane Briggs. Shane's in the Cobra Kai Legends car, racing out of the Carolinas region. Starting in 8th in car 42, that is Scott Correa. Scott racing out of California. Starting in the 7th spot in car number 28, that's Rowdy Chenard in the Haviline Legends car, racing out of Texas. That's a Davey Allison throwback car. Starting in the 6th spot, he's going to show up on your screen as car 0.5, but on the telemetry in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, he'll show up as car number 2. That's Mark Breer. It's an AMR Paintworks car. Mark racing with us out of the broader iRacing regions. Starting in the 5th spot in car number 27, that's Riley Goodwin. Riley racing out of Hudson, Wisconsin. And right now, Riley doesn't appear to be showing up on the screen. That would mean that Riley's probably going to be starting from the pits. Starting in the 4th spot in car number 77, that's Keegan Sabilo. Keegan in another AMR Paintworks car, racing out of Michigan. Keegan, winner of heat number 1 in qualifying heats tonight. Keegan's going to be starting in the 4th. Starting in the 3rd spot, car number 11, that's Jared Epker. Epker racing out of the Midwest in an after-hours restorations car. Epker, the winner of heat number 2. So the invert tonight, the heat inversions, basically you qualify based, and then you go run in a heat, and then based on your finish in the heat, they're going to line up the field, and they're going to invert. So the winners, this time the invert was 4. So the front 4 cars are going to be inverted. That means the first place car in each heat is going to start in the second row, and the second place car in each heat is going to start in the front row. That leads us to our front 2 guys. Starting in the 2nd spot in car number 9, that's the Club West car, racing out of Colorado. That's Nathaniel Spomer. And on the pole, car number 21, that's Mike Matherly. Matherly racing out of the Carolinas region. He is from Hampstead, North Carolina. Let's go ahead and get this race underway. Watch as these cars move around Speedway. Matherly, your points leader in the U.S. Racing League Legends Series. He needs a 6th place finish to clinch the championship. This is the final race of the season for these drivers. If I understand correctly, we're going to have 66 laps tonight, so a fairly long race at Five Flags. Matherly up front, with Spomer to his outside, then Epker and Sabilo making up roll 2, Goodwin and Breer in roll 3, Chenard and Correa roll 4, and Shane Briggs bringing up the rear. The green flag's out. Matherly hammers the throttle. Keegan Sabilo looks to the high side now, looks to make it 3 wide, thinks better of it, backs off. Sabilo right on the back bumper of the 9 of Spomer. Matherly jumps out to a quick lead. Epker's going to hop to the inside as well. It's Matherly, then Epker looking to the inside of Spomer. Sabilo on the high side. Just behind them, that's the 28 of Rowdy Chenard. Chenard moving forward quickly. Matherly holding the lead here, kind of fighting a 2-line battle, trying to hold off both the high line and the low line. Mike Matherly in the 21 leading. He is your points leader. He's going to need a top 6 finish if he's going to clinch the championship. Matherly continues to lead. The 11 of Epker looks to the inside. Looks like Keegan Sabilo riding that high line. So it's Matherly, Spomer, Epker, or Matherly, Epker, Spomer, depending on where we are on the racetrack. 28 looks like he's going to try to find his way past the 9 of Spomer. So now it's going to be Matherly, Epker, the 28 of Chenard, and Keegan Sabilo. So Sabilo settles into the 4th spot. It's Mike Matherly out front. We are 4 laps into a 66-lap race. Mike Matherly in that 21 car leads. The 11 of Epker got a little loose, and looks like it might give the 28 of Chenard a chance to try to put a move on Epker on the outside. Chenard goes up high, Epker on the low side. Matherly pulling away just a bit. Mike Matherly, the points leader, about a car length ahead of Jared Epker. Epker makes his way past Chenard. They fought for just a bit, but Epker's going to hold on to that spot. So it's Matherly, Epker, Chenard, then Sabilo with the 9 of Spomer in 5th. Scott Correa running 6th. Shane Briggs is in 7th. Mark Breer 8th. And Riley Goodwin now a lap down in the 9th spot. Goodwin did make it out of the pits, but he was a little late getting to the grid. Out front, it is Matherly, 6 laps into a 66-lap race. Mike Matherly in that white and red 21 with a lead over Epker. Epker starting to put some pressure on Matherly. Matherly tries to hold him off, lets the car drift up just a bit. That's going to give Epker a little bit of a run. Chenard sits in the 3rd spot. Keegan Sabilo now trying to put maybe a little pressure on Chenard. These 4 starting to pull away just a touch from the 9 of Spomer. Epker looks to the inside of the 21 of Matherly. They come out of the turn. Matherly holds on to the position. Epker starting to really put some pressure on the 21 of Mike Matherly. His spin, it looks like the 77 of Sabilo and the 28 of Chenard got together. So Matherly and Epker, the yellow is out. Mike Matherly going to hang on to the lead here. JiRT Epker in 2nd. That looked like it was the 77 of Sabilo and the 28 of Rowdy Chenard tangling up. The pace car is on the field. We're 9 laps into a 66-lap event. Mike Matherly holds the lead. Looks like Epker's decided he's going to go into the pits. JiRT Epker will be going into the pits to take tires here, it looks to me like. Keegan Sabilo also in the pit. Rowdy Chenard stayed out on the speedway. Matherly's going to hold on to the lead. We're 10 laps in. Remember, Mike Matherly needs to be able to finish in the top 6. If he finishes 6th or better, the championship is his. There are 9 cars in this field, so Matherly needs to stay in the top 6. Nathaniel Spomer moves back into the 2nd spot. Scott Correa now being shown in 3rd. Epker still being shown in the pit. We're not sure exactly where he's going to be. I would expect Epker and Keegan Sabilo will be probably in 7th and 8th respectively after this pits cycles through. Looks like Riley Goodwin must have gotten the lucky dog, so Goodwin a lap down is able to get his lap back after that caution. That's going to put Riley Goodwin in the 7th spot. Depending on how the race is set up here, Goodwin may have to go to the back of the field because he was the winner of the lucky dog. It would put him in the longest line. So we'll see how that's set up as we move forward. Right now it's Matherly, Spomer, Correa, Briggs. Those are your top 4. Mark Breer in 5th. Rowdy Chenard in 6th. Riley Goodwin 7th. JiRT Epker 8th. And Keegan Sabilo in 9th. 12 laps in. Mike Matherly, a member of the Johnson iRacing team, just recently joined, a great addition. Matherly, a consummate pro, runs a lot in the Tyler Daniels Racing League of Legends. He's a regular there, also a regular here in the U.S. Racing League. Keegan Sabilo, your 9th place car, also running quite a bit in the League of Legends, has some wins both in the League of Legends and in the TDR Xfinity Series. So Sabilo very successful in league racing in a wide variety of leagues. Looks like the lights are off on the pace car. Is this going to be a single file restart or will they go double wide? Looks to me like I'm anticipating a single file restart here. Pace car is in. Restart should be on. The leader, Mike Matherly, hammers the throttle. The 9 of Spomer tries to go to the inside. Matherly gets a good restart. He's about 2.5 car lengths ahead of the 9 of Nathaniel Spomer. It's Matherly, Spomer, Correa, Briggs. Those are your top 4 cars. Spomer looking to the inside. Mike Matherly trying to hold off a charging 9 car. 9 now looking to the outside. Spomer takes the high line now, dives back underneath, trying to do a little bit of a crossover move there on Matherly. Matherly manages to close the door. Mike Matherly closes the door on the 9 of Spomer. Spomer made a quick run there on cool tires. Matherly, though, holding him off. Spomer looks to the inside again. Looks like Mike's in trouble here. Nathaniel Spomer's got some position. Turns down hard into the corner. Matherly up on the high side. The drivers side by side. They come out of the turn onto the front straightaway. And Matherly's going to lead lap number 16. But it looks like Spomer's going to get the advantage here. And it Spomer's going to complete the pass, and to the inside, it's also Scott Correa and the 999 car of Briggs. So Shane Briggs and Scott Correa trying to take advantage of the opening that was left when Nathaniel Spomer made his way past Mike Matherly. Matherly now has dropped to second. He's got 4 positions of a cushion here. If Matherly finishes 6th or higher, he is guaranteed the points win. Looks like they're racing 3 wide behind him. That's the 28 of Rowdy Chenard going to the inside of the 999 of Briggs. Correa up on the high side. We can see Epker coming in as well. We've got Spomer, Matherly, Chenard on the inside, Briggs on the outside. Just behind them, we've got Epker and Correa running side by side. Epker's made the pass, and it looks like Sabilo's gone to the inside of Scott Correa as well. Out front, it's the 9 of Spomer, then the 21 of Mike Matherly. Spomer 1, Matherly 2. Spomer beginning to pull away just a bit and back further in traffic. We can see a pretty heavy-duty race going on right here between the Briggs, Chenard, Epker, Sabilo, and then it looks like Mark Breer in that 0.5 car. We're going to keep our eyes on this battle as we've got Chenard trying to find his way around the 999 of Briggs. Epker looks to the high side. Now Epker disappears, a little internet lag creating some problems. Briggs, then the 28 of Chenard. Behind him it's the 11 of Epker, then the 77 of Keegan Sabilo. Just behind Sabilo it's the 0.5 car of Mark Breer. Riley Goodwin currently sitting in the 8th spot. And boy, some heavy-duty blocking going on there as the 28 of Chenard closed the door hard on the 11 of Epker. That allows Briggs to pull away just a bit. Out front, we can see that the 9 has begun to extend the lead over the 21 of Matherly. So Spomer out front, Matherly second, Briggs trying to close. Looks like Epker is to the inside of the 28 of Chenard. Epker trying to make a pass. And they touch, and that's going to put the 28 into the outside wall. Don't know what happened there. Don't know who was at fault. Maybe that's just a racing deal, but a little bit of contact, and that sends the 28 up the racetrack. Looks like the caution is back out for an incident involving the 28 of Rowdy Chenard and the 11 of JiRT Epker. Epker currently sits in the 4th spot. Up front, it's Spomer with the lead. Let's go back up here with the 9 and Nathaniel Spomer. Spomer well out in front. Mike Matherly currently in the 2nd spot. Behind Matherly, that's Shane Briggs in the 999 in 3rd. Looks like Matherly may be going to go into the pits here and try to get some tires. Both Matherly and the 9 of Spomer going in. Also looks like the 999 of Briggs, the 77 of Sabilo, the 0.5 of Breer also in the pits. Looks like everybody came but JiRT Epker. Epker going to stay out and hold on to the lead. Let's go back out front with Epker. You can see Epker has come in as well. So everybody pitting. Sorry, Epker has not come in. That's the 9 of Spomer. Everybody pitting but the 11 of JiRT Epker. Epker deciding to take a look at the interior of this pace car. Epker in the 11 all by himself on the racetrack. Everyone else in the pits. Mike Matherly, because of his pole position, is going to be pitting from the 1st spot. Looks like Matherly's got tires. Matherly will lead them out. He's going to be followed by the 9 of Spomer. Then it looked like the 27 of Riley Goodwin is going to get out in the 3rd spot. So Epker's going to lead. Shane Briggs. Maybe Shane Briggs got out ahead of all these guys. So it's going to be Epker, Briggs. I would expect Matherly to be next. Then Spomer. Riley Goodwin in 5th, Keegan Sabilo 6th, Mark Breer 7th, Rowdy Chenard 8th. Scott Correa still in the pits. He's in the 9th spot. Correa is going to go a lap down in the pits. Let's go up front with the 11 of JiRT Epker. Epker in that red, white, and blue Legends car. Sponsored by After Hours Restorations, JiRT Epker leads. We're on lap 27 of a scheduled 66-lap event under the lights at Five Flags Speedway. Track not very well illuminated. A lot of shadows that make it a challenge to race here. But cool track temps mean cars that handle well. Pace car is in. Epker hammers the throttle. JiRT Epker with the lead. 999 to Briggs in 2nd. Matherly 3rd. Spomer 4th. Jared Epker gets out to a fantastic start. A wonderful restart by Epker. He did a nice job. And he pulls away from the rest of the field. The 999 of Briggs trying to close in. Matherly now has dropped to third. Remember, Mike Matherly will clinch the championship. If he finishes sixth or better, we've got Briggs looking to the inside of Epker. He's going to try to make the pass. He's going to make it stick. New tires cure a multitude of ills, but Epker tries the crossover move, looks to the inside of the 99 of Briggs. The two cars side by side. They're coming out of the turn now onto the front straightaway, and it looks like Epker's going to lead this lap. Briggs comes back on the outside, but he doesn't have quite enough race car. It's going to be Epker 1, Briggs 2. Matherly closing in now. He's in third. Matherly looking to the inside of Shane Briggs as well. Briggs in second. Epker out front. Epker on slightly older tires, but he's holding on to the lead and beginning to pull away just a bit from Shane Briggs in the 999. It looks like the 21 of Mike Matherly is taking a peek under that car. Matherly looks like he's got Briggs shuffled up and out of the groove. Mike Matherly goes back into the second spot. Your points leader moving forward, trying to close in on the lead car. That's the 11 of Jared Epker. It is Epker 1, Matherly 2. Looks like Nathaniel Spomer's working his way around the 999 of Briggs as well, trying to get past Spomer to the inside. Looks like Spomer's going to make that pass. Let's crawl in. And here comes Keegan Sabilo. Sabilo, a very quick race car. Sabilo also makes his way past the 999 of Briggs. Out front, it's still the 11 of Jared Epker. Epker leads. Mike Matherly in second. Matherly through the center of turn 3 and 4 out onto the front straightaway. Mike Matherly in the second spot, Epker first. Jared Epker leads at the halfway point. So at halfway, Jared Epker won. Mike Matherly is now in second. The 9 of Nathaniel Spomer into the third spot. Looks like Matherly really trying to work on the 11 of Epker. He looks low, he looks high, no dice. Now Spomer looking underneath Matherly. No dice there as well, as the 11 of Jared Epker begins to pull away just a bit from the 21 of Mike Matherly. It's Epker, Matherly, then Sabilo, followed by Briggs, Breer, Goodwin, Chenard, and Scott Correa, who has retired from the event. So Scott Correa being shown is out. We've got a caution on the speedway. Don't know what might have happened there. Could have been, based on what we're seeing here in the pits, might have been the 999 of Shane Briggs. Briggs may have been involved in that. Briggs now in the pits. 32 laps to go. Now 31 to go. Jared Epker leads. Mike Matherly runs in the second spot. Your point leader currently in second. Nathaniel Spomer in third, with Sabilo fourth. Mark Breer fifth. Goodwin sixth. Shane Briggs in the pits, currently shown in seventh. Rowdy Chenard eighth. And Scott Correa has retired. We're down to 8 cars in this feature event. The only thing I can think with the lights on the pace car here is that maybe Scott Correa had enough damage that the repair time would have extended well past the end of this event. One of the ways iRacing works is, depending on the league, you may be allowed a quick repair. Now, a quick repair doesn't repair everything, but it gets the car close, and it'll put you most of the time on a pace to at least keep up with about the same kind of lap times you were running pre-accident. But you get one of those, and after that, the simulation tries to simulate real repair times. A short feature like this, 66 laps, maybe an 18-second lap here, something like that. So you're talking about, let's just call it 20, you're talking about 1,300 seconds. So really you're talking about 22, 23 minutes of race time. 22 or 23 minutes of race time. Throw in a couple of cautions, maybe you get to 25. Any real damage to one of these cars, the simulator may say that you have an hour of repair, and if that's the way it works, you'll probably just end up withdrawing from the event. That very well could be what happened to Scott Correa in the 42. He may have had enough damage that the repair time on the simulator extended past the end of the race, or the anticipated end of the race. Lights are off on the pace car. Pace car's in. It's the up to Epker. Epker hammers the throttle. Scott Correa out of the race. Epker with the lead. Mike Matherly in second. Epker gets another great restart. Nathaniel Spomer also with a great restart. He is all over Mike Matherly. Looks to the inside of Matherly. Spomer trying to make the pass here as Nathaniel Spomer shuffles Mike Matherly up out of the groove. Keegan Sabilo right behind the 9 of Spomer. Sabilo also going to try to get past. Matherly making that high groove work, but for how long? And we're going to watch as the 77 of Sabilo also trying to find his way past Matherly, shuffling Matherly back into fourth. Sabilo looks like he's going to complete the pass, and he has as they come by the start-finish line. Matherly going back by on the outside. Mike with a quick car up high. The high line carries a lot of momentum out of the turns, but the quick way is the low way. As we can see, Spomer has shuffled the 11 up, so it's going to be Nathaniel Spomer taking the lead. Epker up into that high groove now. Spomer won. Sabilo right on Spomer's back bumper, so it's going to be, looks like Spomer, Sabilo, Epker, and Matherly. Those four cars battling pretty hard, and it looks like Spomer left the door open, and Keegan Sabilo goes hard to the bottom side. Sabilo trying to make his way around the 9 of Nathaniel Spomer. Looks like Sabilo is maybe going to get that pass done. Looks like he's got it completed, and Sabilo is going to take the lead. And there's a tag between the 9 and the leader. The points leader has gone around. That's the 21 of Matherly. He gets slammed by the 27 of Riley Goodwin. Oh my, trouble for the points leader. He's got to find his way back into the top 5, well, top 6, if he's going to clinch that championship tonight. Otherwise, the door is wide open for the competition. Out front, it's the 77 of Keegan Sabilo. We are under caution. 23 laps remain. Our points leader, Mike Matherly, involved in an incident with the 27 of Riley Goodwin. Matherly spun trying to avoid the spinning car of Nathaniel Spomer as he and the 11 of Epker got together. Sabilo with the lead. He's followed by the 11 of Epker. Goodwin and Chenard both being shown in the pits. Mike Matherly sits in the 6th spot. Looks like Matherly went in and got his quick repair. We can see the damage to that car has been repaired. So Mike Matherly should have a pretty good race car. Benefit of the quick repair. Sabilo leads, 22 laps to go. Keegan Sabilo in the AMR Paintworks car, the Heat 1 winner. A good run in that first heat. Jared Epker won the second heat, so it looks like the 2 heat winners running 1-2 with Sabilo out front. Shane Briggs now in third in the 999. That's the Cobra Kai Legends car. Behind Briggs, it's the 9 of Spomer. That's the 27 of Riley Goodwin going by. He must have been given the wave around. Still have all 8 cars on the lead lap, 21 to go. Sabilo leading here at Five Flags Speedway down in Florida. You don't see the points leader, Mike Matherly, currently in the 6th spot. If he can hold on to 6th, he'll clinch the points championship in the US Racing League Legends Series. There's Matherly just coming into the view there, the white car with the blue grille. Currently in the 6th spot, just behind Matherly. That's Rowdy Chenard in 7th, Riley Goodwin in 8th. Scott Correa out. The green flag is out. Keegan Sabilo with the lead now, and he starts to pull away from the 11 of Jared Epker. It's Sabilo, Epker, Briggs, then Spomer. Mark Breer is in the 5th spot with Riley Goodwin 6th, Chenard 7th. Matherly has dropped back to 8th. Mike Matherly right now has opened the door for his competition. Not sure exactly who that might be. I wasn't given much of a point sheet up in front. Just told that Matherly's got to finish 6th to clinch. Out front, it's Sabilo, Briggs, Epker, then Spomer. Looks like Breer has closed in. We can see Rowdy Chenard. Matherly has worked his way back into the 7th spot. He's gone around the 27 of Riley Goodwin. 18, now 17 to go. Sabilo pulling away. He's got about a 5.5 car length lead over Shane Briggs in the 999. Let's settle in with Briggs and see what we're going to see here. There's Briggs running 2nd. Just behind him, we can see the 9 of Spomer. That's Spomer in the 3rd spot. Then behind Spomer, that's the 11. The 11 of Jared Epker. Boy, 2 of Breer getting right down on the apron behind Breer. That's the 28 of Rowdy Chenard. The 27 of Goodwin has gone back past the 21 of Mike Matherly. Matherly now the last car on the lead lap, currently shown in the 8th spot, just behind Matherly. That would be the 9 of Correa, who is now out of the race. So Mike Matherly may be in a bit of trouble here. Sits currently in the 8th spot. He's going to have to find a couple of positions if he wants to clinch this championship. Let's go back out front with the 77 of Keegan Sabilo. Sabilo now really being worked hard by the 999 of Briggs. Briggs all over Sabilo's back bumper. Sabilo looks to the inside. Briggs goes high. They come through the center of the corner now out of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Sabilo holding that car down low. He's going to give Briggs the high side. The highway is the hard way here. Sabilo out of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. He's doing everything he can to keep that 999 behind. Sabilo right down up against the wall. Briggs goes high on the outside. They're side by side as they go down the back straightaway. Looks like Briggs with a slight advantage going into turn number 3. Now through the center of 3 and 4 out onto the front straightaway. Briggs making that high line work. He's going to try to make the pass, and it's going to be Shane Briggs taking the lead. Briggs is going to lead lap number 55. There are 11 to go. Briggs up high. Sabilo down on the bottom side. Briggs using the basically the momentum to his advantage as they go through the center of 3 and 4 now out onto the front straightaway. Sabilo slides up just a little bit. Briggs gives him some extra room. This time by, it's going to be Sabilo with the lead. Sabilo and Briggs touch. Briggs to the outside. Sabilo crashes. That's the 28 upside down into the wall hard. Big crash. Mike Matherly makes his way through that crash unscathed. I don't know how they're going to shake out here as Sabilo and Briggs got together. That put the 28 into the wall upside down. Also took out the 27. Looked like the 11 of Epker was involved. Couldn't tell if Breer in that 0.5 car was involved in the incident. A lot of contact between the leaders. 9 to go. Right now we're showing the 9 of Nathaniel Spomer in the lead. Epker second. Mike Matherly, your points leader, in third. He comes through that incident unscathed. If the race were to end now, Mike Matherly would be the U.S. Racing League Legends Champion. It doesn't look like anyone has chosen to go into the pits necessarily. Shane Briggs being shown 11 seconds back, last car on the lead lap. Let's see what we can see with Briggs. There's Briggs. He's closing in. We don't see a ton of damage on the 28. Could be that these cars went quickly into the pits and then ducked back out using their quick repair. If you shut off, so you can choose not to take tires or fuel, that basically means a repair is just a stop and go. So you pull into the pits, you stop, you go. It's usually a second, maybe less. Keep you on the lead lap, get your car repaired, and you'll be quick enough to try to run hard to the end. Out front, it's the 9 of Spomer. There are going to be 7 laps to go. Lights are off on the pace car. Pace car leads them down the back straightaway. Nathaniel Spomer up front, the 11 of Epker second, Mike Matherly third. Pace car should be in. Pace car's in, and boy, does Spomer hammer the throttle immediately, and Spomer gets off to a great restart. Nathaniel Spomer puts about 4 car lengths between himself and the 11 of JiRT Epker. Mike Matherly trying to hold on back there in the 3rd spot, but things are going to get dicey quick for Matherly. Matherly gets shuffled up out of the groove. The 77 of Sabilo goes by. That's the 28 of Chenard on the outside as Matherly's the meat in the sandwich. And Sabilo makes his way past. Chenard on the outside. He tags Matherly. Matherly spins, slides up the racetrack, locks him up. Matherly with 5 to go, and he gets turned by the 28 of Rowdy Chenard. Caution should be out after that. Looks like Nathaniel Spomer is going to be back out front. Spomer leading. Caution is out. It's Spomer, Epker, Sabilo, Goodwin, Briggs, then Breer, Chenard, and Matherly. My, how quickly the tables can turn at Five Flags. Mike Matherly looks like he could be in a little bit of trouble here late in the race. 4 laps to go. Can Matherly squeeze his way back into the top 6? Right now, he is in the 7th spot. Mike Matherly currently being shown in 7th. If he can move up to 6th, Matherly will clinch the points championship in the U.S. Racing League Legends Series. Lights are off on the pace car. Looks like we're going to get a green-white checkered at Five Flags. Pace car leads the field through 3 and 4. Pace car is in. The 9 of Spomer hammers the throttle. It's going to be Nathaniel Spomer. Spomer gets off to a good restart. Spomer up front, Epker second. Looks like the 77 of Sabilo is going to be working hard on, it's the 27. So, boy, the 27 of Goodwin trying to go by. We got the 999 Sabilo up high. Looks like that car's damaged. 4 cars racing hard here. You can see Mike Matherly. He is in the 7th spot. He needs to gain a position here if at all possible. There's 1 to go, and we've got all kinds of action. Again, another incident. That's going to take the 27 around out front. It's going to be the 9 of Nathaniel Spomer that's going to take the win. Spomer out of turn number 4. He's going to take the victory. That last little incident is going to move Mike Matherly into the 5th spot, and that'll clinch the championship for Matherly. So your race winner, the 9 of Spomer. Keegan Sabilo is going to come home 2nd. Rowdy Chenard 3rd. Mark Greer 4th. Mike Matherly will finish 5th with Shane Briggs 6th. Jared Epker 7th. Riley Goodwin in 8th. And Scott Correa in the 9th spot. Nathaniel Spomer is going to take the win here. And Mike Matherly is going to take the championship. We've got a dueling celebrations as Mike Matherly takes home the U.S. Racing League Legends Championship. And the 9 of Nathaniel Spomer takes home the feature win at Five Flags Speedway. That'll do it from Five Flags for the Johnson iRacing Network. This is Aaron Johnson saying, go fast, turn left, have fun.